Tuesday marked the end of summer and the return to classes for students at BHS. The high school began their day with an assembly in the gym where new teachers in Paris, including Judy Ostick, Brianna Mann, Tom England, and Emily Powell, were introduced. After the assembly, classes met to elect officers for the coming year. Crews have been working all summer on the ball field and have progressed despite some heavy summer rains. A lot of dirt has been moved and the basic leveling is done, and now topsoil is being spread.
The Brashear Lady Tigers kicked off their softball season at the South Shelby Jamboree August 18, 2023. Brashear faced South Shelby in the first game and came out on the losing end by a score of 3-1. Maddie Moose had Brashear's lone hit. Moose also pitched and struck out 7 in the 4-inning contest.
The Lady Tigers softball team took on West Rand in their second game of the South Shelby Jamboree August 18th. The game turned out to be quite the defensive struggle, with the West Rand managing a single run to claim a 1-0 win over Brashear. Cassidy Altide pitched for Brashear.
Part of the money from our recent bond issue went to updating technology in the classrooms. ClearTouch interactive boards were installed in the classrooms to enable teachers and students to have a richer learning environment. Work on the new ball field project continues. Most of the black dirt has been spread, water lines have been installed, and the main perimeter drain has been installed. The lot south of the student parking has been cleared and leveled, and work on the bus barn has not yet started. The Lady Tiger softball team played their first regular season game Thursday. Due to ongoing construction on our new ball field, Brashear hosted North Shelby at the North Park Fields in Kirksville. Brashear's troubles began in the top of the first as they surrendered 4 runs. North Shelby continued to put up runs and won 11-0. Lacey Fisher had a hit for Brashear. Maddie Moots and Cassidy Altide pitched for the Tigers. Progress is still being made on the ball field construction project. This week, stormwater box culverts were being installed. Also, the field had fertilizer and seed applied and harrowed in and was mulched with straw.
The Lady Tigers kicked off their conference season Monday at Lynn County. Brashear scored single runs in the first and fourth inning, before breaking the game open with 9 runs in fifth. Meanwhile, Tiger pitching and defense kept Lynn County off the scoreboard as Brashear claimed 11-0 win in 5 innings. Taylor Garlock had 2 hits for Brashear, with Aubrey Borgmeyer, Cassidy Altide, Heidi Lay, and Marissa McMahon also having hits. Maddie Moose got the start, going 4 innings and striking out 9. Cassidy Altide pitched relief.
The Tiger baseball team began their season Friday at Lynn County. Brashear scored 3 in the first and 2 in the second, only to have Lynn County take a 7-5 lead after 2. The Tiger bats came alive for 8 runs in the third, and Brashear went on to claim an 18-12 win. Cole Irwin had a triple and a double for Brashear, with John Higgins, Jake Holcomb, and Jack Reeves also having hits. A trio of pitchers, Drew Magruder, John Higgins, and Jack Reeves, each struck out 4.
workers on the ball field project were busy this week working on installing some of the drainage pipes in the backstop area and the main storm water drains.
Our cross-country runners attended their first meet of the season at Palmyra Saturday. Levi Clark finished 25th and Jacob Snyder was 26th. Their next meet is September 18th at Wellsville, Middleton.
The Lady Tigers hosted Meadville at North Park in Kirksville Thursday. Meadville got off to a quick start with 3 runs in the top of the first, but Brashear got things going with 6 runs in the second. Never looked back in a 16-4 5-inning win. Aubrey Borgmeyer homered for Brashear, driving in 3. Lacey Fisher, Lily McKim had 2 hits each, and Cassidy Altide and Bailey Crandall also had hits. Maddie Moots went the distance on the mound, striking out 6.
The Brashear Lady Tigers were at the Milan softball tournament Saturday. First up, the Milan JV team. Brashear scored 5 runs in each of first 3 innings to claim a 15-0 victory. Maddie Moots and Lacey Fisher each had 2 hits for Brashear, with Cassidy Altide, Marissa McMahon, Shelby Weaver, Taylor Garlock, Aubrey Borgmeyer, and Lily McKim also having hits. Cassidy Altide got the start pitching all 3 innings and striking out 3.
Next up was Schuyler County. Brashear took a 2-1 lead after the first inning, but found themselves trailing 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th. The Lady Tigers rallied for 3 runs and won 5-4 to advance to the title game. Aubrey Borgmeyer had 2 hits for Brashear, with Marissa McMahon, Maddie Moots, Lily McKim, and Lacey Fisher also having hits. Maddie Moots went the distance on the mound, striking out 10.
The host Milan Wildcats were Brashear's opponent in the title game. Brashear fell behind 3-0 after 1 inning, but came back with 3 runs in the top of the 3rd to tie the game. Milan responded with 3 more runs in the 4th and held on for a 6-4 win, leaving Brashear with a second-place finish. Aubrey Borgmeyer, Taylor Garlock, Paige Stutzman, Maddie Moots, and Lacey Fisher all had hits for Brashear. Cassidy Altide pitched 2 innings, striking out 3, with Maddie Moots striking out 5 in relief.
Brashear hosted the Novinger Lady Wildcats in softball action Tuesday. The Lady Tigers scored in the bottom of the first to take a 1-0 lead, but didn't really get rolling until the 3rd and 4th innings when they scored 4 and 5 runs to win the score of 10-0 in 5 innings. Maddie Moots, Marissa McMahon, and Lacey Fisher each had 2 hits for Brashear, with Bailey Crandall and Taylor Garlock also having hits. Maddie Moots got the start and struck out 7. Brashear hosted the Novinger baseball team Tuesday. Brashear scored twice in the first, 5 times in the second, and twice in the third before putting the game away with a run in the 6th to end the contest with a 10-0 win. John Higgins and Cole Irwin both had a pair of hits, with Jack Reeves and Jay Colcom also having hits. Jack Reeves got the start going 2 innings and striking out 4. Drew Magruder struck out 4, and John Higgins struck out 2 in relief.
Last Sunday, the annual Brashear Hog Roast was held on the square in downtown. In addition to the meal, the event featured live music, a car show, a cornhole tournament, as well as many other games and activities. More drainage work was being done this week on the ball field. The infield drainage has been installed and the new parking lot area was leveled and rocked. Congratulations to Maddie Moots, who auditioned last Saturday in Hannibal and was selected for the district choir. The choir will perform November 4th at Moberly.
The Shout Club have been working on a public service project, collecting supplies for the Humane Society. Last Friday, they got to deliver the goods and meet some of the animals at the shelter.
Our students have ventured out for several field trips lately. The kindergarten students visited the Shelby County Old Threshers reunion last Thursday, and the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade history students were in Hannibal Friday to tour the World War II landing craft, LST-325. The 325 is the only remaining ship of its kind still operational in the United States.
On Wednesday of this week, the computer class visited radio station KIRX for a tour and job shadow opportunity.
Our cross-country runners were at Wellsville Monday. Levi Clark finished 9th and Jacob Snyder was 13th. Their next meet is September 28th at Moberly. Brashear hosted the Lady Bulldogs from La Plata Friday night. The game was a defensive struggle in the early innings, but La Plata managed 1 run in the first and 2 in the second. There was no more scoring until the 5th as La Plata scored 8 to take an 11-0 win in 5 innings. Marissa McMahon had a hit for Brashear. Maddie Moots got the start with Cassidy Altai pitching in relief.
The Tiger baseball team also hosted La Plata Friday night. The game moved quickly as neither team scored in the first 2 innings. Brashear got on the board with a pair of runs in the 3rd and another 3 runs in the 5th, leading to lead 5-3. Things went downhill from there for Brashear as La Plata scored 3 in the 6th and 6 in the 7th to win 12-5. Drew Magruder, John Higgins, Jack Reeves, Cole Irwin, and Jay Colcom each had 2 hits for Brashear. Cole Irwin got the start with Jack Reeves, Drew Magruder, and Rhett Willow pitching in relief.
The Lady Tigers softball team hosted Knox County Monday. Knox County put a run on the scoreboard in the 2nd inning, but Brashear answered with a run in the 3rd. There was no more scoring until Brashear put up 5 runs in the 5th to claim a 6-1 win. Aubrey Borgmeyer had 2 hits, including a home run. Heidi Lay also had 2 hits, with Lacey Fisher, Bailey Crandall, and Lily McKim also having hits. Maddie Moots got the start, striking out 10 in 5 innings, and Cassidy Altai struck out 3 in relief.
The Tiger teams were in action at Atlanta Tuesday. In softball, Brashear took a decisive lead with 1 run in the first and 4 in the second. The game was shortened to 5 innings when Brashear scored 3 in the 4th and 4 in the 5th to claim a 12-0 victory. Aubrey Borgmeyer homered for Brashear and had 3 other hits. Lacey Fisher also homered, with Heidi Lay and Marissa McMahon having 2 hits each. Maddie Moots and Paige Stupsman also had hits. Maddie Moots pitched the shutout, striking out 10 and only allowing 1 to hit.
In the baseball game, Brashear took an early 2-0 lead after 1 inning and added runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings to lead 9-0. Atlanta won to go quietly as they rallied for 3 runs in the 7th, but Brashear held on for the 9-3 win. Jack Reeves led Brashear with 3 hits, 2 of them home runs. Cole Irwin had 4 hits, with Drew Magruder and Rhett Willow having 2 hits each. Jack Reeves got the start going strong, 5 2/3 innings, giving up only 1 hit and striking out 7. Drew Magruder and John Higgins pitched in relief.
Congratulations to Aubrey Borgmeyer. Earlier this week, she was announced as a first-place winner at the Art on the Spot competition at Truman State University. Then on Thursday, Aubrey was honored as the KRX Graphic Impressions Athlete of the Week.
The Tigers hosted Grundy County Newtown Harris Friday at North Park. In the softball game, Brashear scored 4 in the first and were ahead 6-0 after 2 innings. Grundy scored a single run in the 4th as Brashear cruised to an 11-1 win in 5 innings. Aubrey Borgmeyer homered for Brashear with Lacey Fisher having a triple and Maddie Moots having a single. Maddie Moots pitched 3 innings with no hit ball, with Cassidy Altai pitching in relief.
In the baseball game, Brashear trailed 5-1 after 1 inning, but scored 4 in the 5th and 6 in the 6th to claim a 12-10 win over Grundy. Riley Whitlow, Jack Reeves, Cole Irwin, and John Higgins all had hits for Brashear. John Higgins got the start, striking out 4 in 3 innings. Cole Irwin fanned 7 in 3 innings of relief, with Rhett Whitlow pitching the final inning.
The Lady Tigers played in the Atlanta softball tournament Saturday. Their first game of the day was with Nomenger. The Tigers scored 4 in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd, and 2 in the 4th to take a 10-0 lead. Nomenger rallied late but fell short as Brashear won, 10-6. Aubrey Borgmeyer homered and had 3 hits overall. Maddie Moots had 2 hits, and Cassidy Altai, Taylor Godler, Paige Stupsman, Heidi Lay and Lacey Fisher also had hits. Cassidy Altai pitched for Brashear, striking out 3.
The Brashear softball team hosted Buckland-Macon County Tuesday for senior night. The Lady Tigers got on the scoreboard quickly with 5 runs in the first as they cruised to a 15-0 4-inning win. Maddie Moots had 2 hits for Brashear, with Lacey Fisher also having 2 hits. One of them an inside-of-the-park home run for the walk-off win. Paige Stoosman also had an inside-the-park homer with Bailey Crandall, Marissa McMahon, Taylor Garlock, and Aubrey Borgmeyer also having hits. Maddie Moots got the start, striking out 9 in 3 innings of one-hit ball. Cassidy Altai pitched 1 inning of no-hit relief.
The Brashear Tiger baseball team hosted Buckland-Macon County Tuesday at North Park. Brashear got off to a quick start with 5 runs in the first and their 5 in the second on their way to a 16-2 5-inning win. Drew Magruder led the offense with a pair of singles for Brashear. Brett Whitlow, Jack Reeves, Jay Holcomb, and John Higgins also had 2 hits each, with Riley Whitlow, Cole Irwin, and Corey Holcomb also having hits. Jack Reeves got the start, striking out 7, with John Higgins striking out 3 in relief.
The Lady Tigers softball squad were on the road at Clark County Wednesday. Brashear had taken a 6-0 lead by the end of the second inning, but Clark County battled back to take an 11-7 lead after 5 innings. Brashear scored 2 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th to send the game into extra innings with an 11-11 tie. It was all Brashear in the 8th as the Lady Tigers scored 14 runs to grab the win by a final score of 25-12. Lacey Fisher had 4 hits for Brashear. Lily McKim had 3 hits, and Paige Stutzman, Aubrey Borgmeyer, and Maddie Moose also had hits. Maddie Moose kept the start with Cassidy Altai pitching in relief.
Our cross-country runners were at Moberly Thursday for a large meet. Jacob Snyder placed 28th overall and Levi Clark was 40th.
Work on the ball field is progressing with truckloads of infield material being delivered. The bases for the light poles have been set and wiring is being trenched in. Also, the large rocks forming the barrier of the parking lot have been set in place.
Friday night, Brashear was at Bevier for a softball game. Brashear got on the scoreboard with a run in the second, but Bevier scored in the bottom of the second and kept scoring in every subsequent inning, claiming a 12-2 5-inning win. Aubrey Borgmeyer had 2 hits for Brashear, with Marissa McMahon also having a hit. Maddie Moose got the start, with Cassidy Altai pitching in relief.
In the baseball game, Bevier quickly took a 2-0 lead in the first, but Brashear answered with 2 runs in the third to tie the game at 2-2. Brashear scored another run in the top of the 6th to take a 3-2 lead, but Bevier scored twice in the bottom of the 6th and held on for a 4-3 win. Drew Magruder doubled and Jake Holcomb singled for Brashear. Cole Irwin got the start for Brashear with Jack Reeves and Drew Magruder pitching in relief. Reeves struck out 9 in 4.1 innings of work.
The Brashear Lady Tigers played at the La Plata Tournament Saturday. In the first game, Brashear took on Trenton. Trenton started the scoring in the first and scored in all 5 innings of the 14-1 lead. Aubrey Borgmeyer and Lacey Fisher had 2 hits for Brashear. Cassidy Altai pitched for Brashear. In the second game of the day, Brashear faced Montgomery County. Brashear trailed 5-2 in the first inning and couldn't catch up as Montgomery County took the 14-4 win. Heidi Lay had 2 hits for Brashear, with Aubrey Borgmeyer, Marissa McMahon, Maddie Moots, and Lacey Fisher also having hits. Cassidy Altai took the loss for Brashear. The final game for Brashear was with Milan. There was no scoring in the first, but Milan got the bats going in the second, third, fourth for a 15-0 win. Cassidy Altai, Aubrey Borgmeyer, Marissa McMahon, and Matty Moots all had hits for Brashear. Matty Moots got the start with Cassidy Altai and Marissa McMahon pitching in relief.
The Lady Tigers played a non-conference softball game with Higbee Tuesday night. Brashear jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first inning and added another 6 runs in the fourth to get a 12-2 5-inning win. Paige Stutzman, Aubrey Borgmeyer, and Lacey Fisher all had hits for Brashear. Cassidy Altai went all 5 innings on the mound, striking out 7 and walking none.
The Brashear baseball team was in trouble early as Higbee put 10 runs on the board in the top of the first Tuesday night. The Tigers got on the board with 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth, but it wasn't enough as Higbee rolled into a 20-6 win. Cole Irwin had 3 hits for Brashear with Rhett Whitlow, Riley Whitlow, Jack Reeves, Jake Holcomb, John Higgins, and Drew Magruder also having hits. John Higgins got the start with Rhett Whitlow, Riley Whitlow, Drew Magruder, and Ashton Ray pitching in relief.
Congratulations to Carly Willis, Andrea Shaw, Shelby Weaver, Maddie Moots, and Heidi Lay. These members of the BHS choir traveled to Culver Stockton College Wednesday to audition, rehearse, and perform with the Culver Stockton Honor Choir. Our cross-country runners were in action last week, competing at the Marion County meet. Levi Clark took 5th place, and Jacob Snyder placed 6th. The Brashear softball team was at Green City Thursday. Brashear scored 3 in the first and 7 in the second on their way to a 13-2 win. Cassidy Altai, Marissa McMahon, Paige Stutzman, Lily McKim, and Lacey Fisher all had hits for Brashear. Cassidy Altai picked up the win on the mound for Brashear. The Tiger baseball team visited Green City Thursday. Green City took a 4-0 lead after 1 inning, but Brashear closed the gap to 4-3 in the top of the 4th. Green City wasn't done scoring and went on to win 13-3. Riley Whitlow, Jack Reeves, Jake Holcomb, Jacob Love, and Drew Magruder all had hits for Brashear. Jack Reeves got the start with Cole Irwin pitching in relief. The Lady Tigers played their last regular season softball game Friday at Marion County. Brashear didn't get on the scoreboard until the 4th, but had a 5-3 lead in the top of the 7th. Marion County then scored 3 in the 7th to claim a 6-5 win. Lacey Fisher and Aubrey Borgmeyer both homered for Brashear, with Marissa McMahon also having a hit. Cassidy Altai got the start with Shelby Weaver pitching in relief. On Wednesday night, the Brashear chapter of FBLA met for their annual Fall Murder Mystery. Along with pizza and snacks for the group, everyone spent the evening acting out their roles and trying to identify the murderer.
Congratulations to our softball and baseball players who received all conference honors. Lacey Fisher and Aubrey Borgmeyer were named first team, and Heidi Lay was named second team. Jack Reeves and Cole Irwin were named first team, and John Higgins and Drew Magruder were named second team.
The Brashear Lady Tiger softball team faced Paris in the first round of districts last Friday. Brashear got on the scoreboard with a run in the top of the first, but Paris answered with runs in the innings 1 through 5 to hold a 10-1 lead. Brashear managed to score 4 times in the 6th, but their rally fell short, resulting in a 10-5 loss. Aubrey Borgmeyer had 2 hits for Brashear, with Bailey Crandall, Lacey Fisher, Marissa McMahon, Maddie Moots, and Paige Soothman also having hits. Cassidy Altide pitched, giving up only 3 earned runs.
A pep rally was held Tuesday afternoon to kick off the junior high basketball season. Along with introducing the players, the cheerleaders did a number of cheers to pump up the crowd. Brashear Junior High girls basketball team opened their season at home as they hosted Atlanta Tuesday night. Brashear fell behind in the early going and trailed 27-9 at halftime, eventually falling 49-28.
In the boys' game, Atlanta put the game away early, leading 37-7 at halftime and winning 52-18. Kate Irwin had 14, Landon Shannon had 2, Caden Gorman had 2. In the B game, Brashear came out on top 13-7. Gage Gray 3, Logan Moots 3, Liam Brookhart 2, Landon Shannon 2, Braden Peterson 2, and Caden Gorman.
On Saturday, 60 members of the Brashear Tiger Band performed at the Truman State Homecoming Parade. The musicians marched as part of the Truman Honor Combined Band. Brashear's next performance will be Saturday at Overstock.
In honor of Red Ribbon Week, an assembly was held to hear a presentation from Mark Twain Behavioral Health about the dangers of vaping and other drug use. Also, another assembly was held to allow high school students to learn of the building trades training opportunities provided by Capital Academy.
The Brashear Junior High girls hosted Green City Friday. Brashear jumped out to a 10-7 lead after one quarter and held Green City scoreless in the second to take a 14-7 lead. Green City rallied in the fourth but came up short as Brashear won 22-17. Aubrey Irwin and Kennedy Gray both scored 9. Katrina Youngman and Carly Clark both scored 2.
Green City was at Brashear Friday for junior high boys basketball. The Tigers jumped out to a quick 21-12 lead and were up 29-18 at halftime. Brashear increased their lead in the second half for a 42-26 win. Kate Irwin scored 16 points. Gage Gray scored 7 points. Gus Noah scored 6 points. Caden Gorman scored 4 points. Liam Brookhart, Landon Shannon, Logan Moose, and Brady Peterson scored 2 points, and Katie McMahon.
The Lady Tiger Junior High girls were at Revere Tuesday. The game was a close one, with Revere leading 13-10 at halftime. Brashear mounted a rally late and had the ball trailing by 1 point with 5 seconds left, but couldn't score and lost to Revere by a score of 31-10. Brashear won the B game 6-0. Audrey Irwin scored 12, Kennedy Gray scored 9, Carly Clark scored 5, and Maddie Mayfield scored 4.
The Brashear Junior High boys played Revere Tuesday. Revere jumped out to an early lead and were ahead 21-12 at halftime. Brashear never could close the gap in the second half and eventually faded for a 37-23 loss. The Brashear B boys also lost 13-9. Kate Irwin scored 12 points. Logan Moose scored 3 points. Liam Brookhart, Gus Snow, Caden Gorman, and Caden McMahon all scored 2 points as well. On Saturday, the BHS Tiger Marching Band traveled to Canton, Missouri for the Kohler Stockton Homecoming Parade. Brashear is one of the 14 bands competing and took third in the junior high.
The Renaissance students had a treat Tuesday afternoon. They gathered in the lunchroom where they got to make do-it-yourself caramel apples. The Renaissance program provides rewards for students with good grades, good attendance, and good deportment. On Tuesday, the Brashear students were dressed in their spookiest outfits for Halloween. In the afternoon, each group took turns parading around the gym to show off their costumes. Students from grades 7 through 12 were on a field trip Wednesday to visit State Tech in Lynn, Missouri. While there, the students were given a tour of campus and background information on the different programs they offer.
Hey, Mr. Scudder.
Congratulations to Levi Clark and Jacob Snyder, who competed in the cross-country districts this past week. Both runners qualified for state, with Levi finishing 14th and Jacob finishing 19th in a field of 99 runners.
The Brashear Junior High Lady Tigers had a tough road game at Marion County Thursday. The Mustangs outscored Brashear 22 in the first quarter and were up 32-6 by halftime. Brashear fared no better in the second half and fell to Marion County by a score of 44-13. Kenny Gray scored 8, Carly Clark scored 3, Audrey Irwin scored 2.
The junior high boys basketball team was at Marion County Thursday. It was a close game throughout the first half, with Brashear up 11-10 at halftime. The Tigers finally got some momentum going during the fourth quarter and pulled away for a 27-25 win. Cade Irwin scored 25, Gage Gray with 5, Caden McMahon with 5, and Landon The junior high girls basketball team hosted Buckland-Macon County Friday. BMC dominated the first half, leading 17-13 going into halftime, but the Lady Tigers came alive in the second half and pulled away for a 39-23 win. Brashear also won the B game 6-2. Kennedy Gray scored 29, Audrey Irwin with 4, Carly Clark with 3, and Maddie Mayfield with 3.
Brashear hosted the Buckland-Macon County Junior High boys Friday. It was a close game throughout the first half, with Brashear leading 24-20 at halftime. BMC wouldn't go away in the second half, but Brashear held on for a 34-32 win. Cade Irwin scored 19 points, Caden McMahon had 7, Caden Gorman had 5, and Gage Gray had 3 points. BHS had a special visitor on Wednesday. Agent Kevin Powell from the Missouri Department of Conservation was on hand to help Mr. Killen's hunter safety education class learn how to properly handle a firearm.
Congratulations to Levi Clark and Jacob Snyder, who competed last Friday at the state cross-country meet at Columbia. Levi placed 94th and Jacob placed 97th in state Class 1 competition.
Lynn County was in town Thursday for junior high basketball. In the girls' game, Brashear started the game with a 10-0 run and never looked back as they rolled to a 36-6 win. Kennedy Gray scored 19, Carly Clark scored 9, and Audrey Irwin scored 8.
The Brashear Junior High boys took on Lynn County Thursday. Brashear jumped out to a 10-6 lead after one quarter and were up 22-14 at halftime. Brashear managed to hold on to that lead and finished the game with a 46-32 win. Cade Irwin scored 32, Gus Snow with 6, Justin Robeson with 4, Caden Gorman with 2, and Caden McMahon with 2.
The Lady Tigers faced off with Meadville Friday. Brashear jumped out to an 8-3 lead after one quarter and were up at 16-6 at halftime. Brashear didn't slow down in the second half and pulled away for a 29-11 win. Kennedy Gray scored 11, Carly Clark scored 7, Audrey Irwin scored 6, Maya Huffman scored 4, and Gracie Baker scored 1.
The Brashear Junior High boys hosted Meadville Friday. The Tigers started strong and held a 16-13 lead after one quarter, but Meadville managed to pull ahead 29-27 at halftime. Throughout the second half, Brashear tried to catch up but fell short by a score of 62-54. Kate Irwin scored 33 points, Gage Gray scored 8 points, Caden Gorman scored 5 points, Logan Oates and Gus Snow scored 4 points.
The Brashear Junior High girls play Buckland-Macon County in the first round of the Atlanta tournament Monday night. BMC took an early 5-2 lead after one quarter, but Brashear was ahead 11-9 at halftime. BMC was leading 17-3 after 3 quarters, but Brashear battled back in the fourth to claim a 23-19 win. Audrey Irwin scored 8 points, Maddie Mayfield, Kennedy Gray both scored 6, and Carly Clark scored 3.
On Monday night, the Brashear Junior High boys faced La Plata at the Atlanta tournament. La Plata got off to a quick start and went into halftime with a 33-22 lead. Brashear rallied late but couldn't catch up and went down to defeat 60-50. Cade Irwin had 36 points, Gus Snow had 5 points, Gage Gray had 5 points, Caden Gorman had 2, and Caden McMahon also had 2.
The Lady Tigers took on Atlanta at the Atlanta tournament Wednesday. Atlanta proved a tough opponent as they jumped out to a 24-1 lead after one quarter. Brashear could never get back into the game and eventually fell by a score of 47-24. Carly Clark scored 9 points for Brashear, Kennedy Gray had 7, Katrina Youngman had 4, and Audrey Irwin had 2 points.
Brashear Junior High boys faced Green City in the consolation semifinals Wednesday night at the Atlanta tournament. Brashear started the game with a 9-0 scoring run and were up 24-5 by halftime. Green City showed signs of life as they rallied late, but Brashear held on to a 39-26 win. Kate Irwin scored 18, Braden Peterson with 4, Gus Snow with 4, Gage Gray with 4, Liam Brookhart with 3, Justin Robeson with 2, Caden McMahon with 2, and Landon Chan with 2.
Last Friday, Diane McGinnis's English class, along with Kelly Baker's art classes and Brianna Mann's music department, put on a program for Veterans Day. Local veterans were recognized for their service, and a variety of art, music, speeches, and skits were performed. A reception for attending veterans completed the day.
A blood drive was held in the high school gym at BHS Wednesday. A total of 27 units were collected. There were 4 first-time donors.
On Thursday, BHS Student Council members were doing a public service project as they helped prepare and serve the Community Thanksgiving Dinner in Kirksville. This marks the 18th year for this service project. The Brashear Student Council was recently honored for their work by SB 40.
Work has been progressing on the baseball field. Light poles have been installed, as well as supports for the scoreboard. The outfield has been graded in preparation for sod, and the infield material has been spread. Dirt work is being done to prepare for pouring concrete.
The junior high Lady Tigers squared off with La Plata in the girls' third place game of the Atlanta tournament Friday. Brashear jumped out to a 10-0 lead after one quarter and never let up as they claimed third place with a 42-9 win. Audrey Irwin scored 15, Kennedy Gray and Carly Clark both scored 8, Maddie Mayfield scored 4, and Katrina Youngman scored 2.
At the Atlanta tournament Friday, Brashear took on Buckland-Macon County in the consolation game. Brashear managed to build a 20-13 lead at halftime, but BMC hung tough in the second half. Brashear managed to hold on to the lead and took consolation with a 43-35 win. Kate Irwin scored 25 points, Caden McMahon scored 8 points, Gage Gray scored 5, Logan Moose scored 2, Gus Snow scored 2, and Caden Gorman scored 1.
The Brashear Junior High girls were at La Plata Monday. Brashear took a quick lead of 12-1 after one quarter and never looked back as they rolled to a 44-18 win. The B teams battled to a 0-0 tie. Kennedy Gray had 17 points, Aubrey Newland had 10, Carly Clark had 9, Maddie Mayfield had 4, Elise Salter had 2, and Maya Huffman had 2.
Brashear Junior High boys basketball versus La Plata, November 13, 2023. The Brashear Junior High boys visited La Plata Monday. La Plata led 9-3 after one quarter and 21-10 at halftime. Brashear managed to pull within 2 in the fourth quarter, but eventually lost 41-32. In the B game, Brashear lost 6-5. Kate Irwin scored 14, Gage Gray with 7, Caden McMahon with 5, Gus Snow with 3, and Justin.
The Brashear Junior High Lady Tigers were at Novinger Tuesday. Brashear took an early lead and were ahead 18-2 at halftime. Brashear kept a comfortable lead in the second half and won by a score of 25-10. Kennedy Gray scored 13 points, Audrey Irwin scored 6, Carly Clark scored 4, and Aubrey Newland scored 2. Brashear played their last junior high game of the season Tuesday at Novinger. The Brashear Tigers took the lead early and were up 20-10 at halftime. Brashear continued to maintain their lead in the second half and won by a score of 43-24. Kate Irwin scored 16 points, Gage Gray scored 15, Caden Gorman scored 4, Justin Robertson scored 4, and Gus Snow scored 4.
A spaghetti dinner fundraiser for the varsity basketball teams was held Thursday night. After the meal, the teams were introduced and participated in fun activities and competitions.
One of our Brashear High School athletes recently received high honors. Aubrey Borgmeyer was selected for the All-State Softball second team. Congratulations, Aubrey. Tuesday evening was an evening in education at Brashear in honor of Reading Week. A carnival was held with games for the kids including bowling, ring toss, plinkett, mini golf, and others.
On Monday, members of the Brashear chapter of the National Honor Society participated in a public service project. They helped load boxes for Operation Christmas Child, which is a program to provide Christmas gifts to children in need around the world.
The Brashear High School Shout Club spent the morning in Edina Wednesday doing a public service project. The club members helped with Christmas decorating by painting windows in downtown Edina. The Brashear Lady Tigers kicked off their varsity basketball season as they hosted Schuyler County Monday. The game was a close one throughout, with Brashear taking a 25-24 lead into halftime. Neither team was able to establish much of a lead in the second half, with Brashear holding on for a 45-42 win. Lacey Fisher scored 19, Aubrey Borgmeyer scored 11, Heidi Lay scored 6, Paige Stutzman scored 5, Marissa McMahon scored 3, and Cassidy Altide scored 1.
The Brashear boys started their season Monday with Schuyler County JV. The Tigers got off to a quick start and built a 44-19 lead by halftime. Brashear continued to roll in the second half and won by a score of 71-36. Carson Irwin with 24, Cole Irwin with 14, Jack Reeves with 12, Dayton White with 8, Levi Clark with 7, and Clancy Noah 6.
Work has continued this week on the ball field project. Outfield fence posts were being set and concrete was being poured in the backstop area. Also, water tanks for the sprinkler system were being. On Tuesday, the BHS cheerleaders held a pep rally as a send-off for the Tiger teams as they traveled to the Novinger tournament. After introductions of the teams and remarks by the coaches, the cheerleaders led the crowd in several cheers.
The Lady Tigers played Grundy County Tuesday in the first round of the Novinger tournament. Brashear got off to a 13-8 lead after one quarter and were up 25-22 at halftime. Grundy managed to grab the lead in the third quarter and hung on for a 46-41 win. Lacey Fisher had 17 points, Heidi Lay had 8 points, Paige Stutzman had 7 points, Cassidy Altside had 5 points, Maddie Moots had 2 points, and Taylor Garland had 2 points.
The Tigers also faced Grundy County Tuesday at the Novinger tournament. Grundy got off to a quick start and built a 38-16 lead by halftime. Brashear outscored Grundy in the third, but a big fourth quarter sealed the win for Grundy County. Cole Irwin scored 12, Dayton White scored 12, Jack Reeves scored 9, and Carson Irwin scored 8.
The Lady Tigers played Madison Thursday at the Novinger tournament. Brashear got off to a quick start and had a 31-9 lead at halftime. Brashear held Madison scoreless in the third quarter as they ran away with a 52-15 win. Lacey Fisher scored 14 points. Paige Sussman scored 12. Heidi Lay scored 9. Aubrey Borgmeyer scored 7. Bevan Marsh scored 4. Cassidy Altside, Taylor Garlock, and Maddie Mood scored 2. The Brashear Tigers faced Madison Thursday night in the Novinger tournament. Brashear dominated in the early part of the game, holding Madison scoreless in the first quarter and leading 20-0 at halftime. Brashear held off Madison in the second half as they cruised to a 59-23 win. Carson Irwin scored 29, Jack Reeves scored 15, Cole Irwin scored 4, Dayton White scored 4, Ashton Ray scored 3, Quincy Noe scored 2, and Caden Taylor scored 2.
The Brashear Music Department made a trip to perform Christmas songs on the Kirksville Square Saturday. Those performing included both musicians and the choir. The Lady Tigers faced the Nemo Knights Friday in the consolation game at the Novinger tournament. Brashear took an early lead, which they built on to be up 25-14 at halftime. Brashear never let up in the second half and went on to win the consolation trophy by a score of 38-28. Aubrey Borgmeyer had 15 points for Brashear, Heidi Lay had 11, Lacey Fisher had 8, and Cassidy Altside had 4 points. The Tigers fell behind early in their consolation game, which was played at the Novinger tournament Friday. After trailing 18-12 after one quarter, Brashear evened the score at 23-23 at halftime. Brashear took care of business in the second half and went on to take the consolation trophy by a score of 59-54. Carson Irwin scored 30 points for Brashear, Jack Reeves had 12, Levi Clark and Cole Irwin each had 6, Dayton White had 5, and Clancy Noe had 2 points.
The Lady Tigers were at Lynn County Tuesday, and Brashear got off to a quick start, leading 24-6 after one quarter and never looked back as they rolled to a 63-18 win. Lacey Fisher scored 18, Heidi Lay and Paige Stutzman scored 12, Aubrey Borgmeyer with 8, Marissa McMahon with 6, Maddie Moots with 3, and Lily McKim with 2.
The Brashear boys played at Lynn County Tuesday. The Tigers led the Mustangs 16-11 after one quarter, but Brashear blew the game open in the second quarter, taking a 35-14 lead at the half. It was all Brashear in the second half as the Tigers ran away with a 65-25 win. Carson Irwin scored 20, Cole Irwin scored 17, Jack Reeves scored 12, Clancy Noe scored 6, Levi Clark scored 4, Ashton Ray and Dayton White both scored 2.
With favorable weather recently, work has progressed on the ball field project. The outfield fences have been installed and most of the concrete around the backstop and dugout areas has been poured. Also, the wiring for the lighting system has been installed.
Thursday night, the BHS Music Department performed their annual Christmas concert. Those performing included the Busy Bees, kindergarten through 6th grade, the 5th grade, 6th, and high school bands, as well as a choir. The art department had lots of students produce Christmas artwork on display as well.
The Lady Tigers had their work cut out for them Friday as they visited defending state champs Meadville. Meadville jumped out to a 24-4 lead after one quarter and were up 45-7 at halftime. Brashear managed to put some points on the scoreboard in the second half, but still lost by a score of 87-26. Aubrey Borgmeyer scored 7, Lacey Fisher scored 6, Taylor Garlock scored 4, Maddie Moots, Paige Stutzman, and Marissa McMahon all scored 2, and Heidi Lee scored 1.
The Tigers were on the road Friday to take on Meadville. Meadville scored first and held a 33-23 lead at halftime. Brashear rallied in the fourth quarter and pulled within 4 points with 2 minutes left. Meadville began to stall and Brashear couldn't foul their way to a victory as Meadville hung on for a 65-53 win. Carson Irwin had 23 points, Cole Irwin had 17 points, Levi Clark had 5 points, and Dayton White had 2 points.
The Lady Tigers hosted La Plata Tuesday night. La Plata got off to a quick start and had built a 40-14 lead by halftime. Brashear mostly kept up to pace with La Plata in the second half, but still went down to defeat 59-28. Paige Stutzman scored 10, Heidi Lay and Aubrey Borgmeyer scored 2, Cassidy Altai, Taylor Garlock, Maddie Moots, Marissa McMahon, and Lily McKim all scored 2.
La Plata came to town Tuesday night to play the Tigers. Brashear opened play with a 12-0 run, but La Plata had closed the gap to 31-28 by halftime. Brashear maintained a small lead throughout the second half until La Plata tied the game with a couple of minutes left. Brashear was able to regain the lead and went on to win 55-48. Carson Irwin scored 29, Cole Irwin scored 20, Clancy No scored 3, Levi Clark scored 2, and Dayton White scored 1.
Wednesday, our shot club spent their day engaging in their annual Christmas service project. First, they prepared gifts to take to firemen, ambulance crews, and other public safety workers. They spent the rest of the morning ringing bells for the Salvation Army. The Lady Tigers were on the road at Atlanta Friday night. The Hornets took an early lead and were up by a score of 29-20 by halftime. Brashear hung in there in the second half, but could never quite catch up and lost 45-39. Aubrey Borgmeyer scored 11, Heidi Lay with 7, Paige Stoosman with 6, Lacey Fisher with 5, Cassie Albright with 4, Maddie Moose with 3, Taylor Garlock with 2, Carly Willis with 1.
The Tigers took on the Atlanta Hornets Friday in Atlanta. Brashear fell victim to 10 first-half three-pointers by Atlanta, which gave up a 46-27 lead at halftime. Atlanta never let up in the second half, and Brashear went down to defeat 85-53. Cole Irwin had 14 points, Jack Reeves had 12 points, Levi Clark had 9 points, Carson Irwin had 9 points, Clancy Moore had 4 points, Dayton White had 3 points, and Joey Willis had 2 points.
Brashear girls played Tri-County at the NCMC Holiday Hoops Saturday. Brashear jumped out to an 11-5 first quarter lead and extended their lead to 25-15 at halftime. Despite a second half rally by Tri-County, Brashear kept till the end for a 45-34 win. Aubrey Borgmeyer scored 11 points, Cassie Albright scored 9 points, Maddie Moot scored 8 points, Lacey Fisher scored 6, Paige Stoosman scored 5, Taylor Gerlach scored 4, and Heidi Lay scored.
The Tigers were at the NCMC Holiday Hoops Saturday, where they took on Tri-County. Brashear jumped out to an early lead and never looked back as they lead 37-17 at halftime on their way to a 59-35 win. Carson Irwin scored 26, Cole Irwin with 12, Jack Reeves with 9, Clancy Noah with 4, Levi Clark and Dayton White with 3, and Ashton Ray with 2.
The Lady Tigers hosted North Shelby Tuesday. The game was a close one through the first half, with North Shelby leading 19-15 at halftime. Brashear couldn't keep up with North Shelby in the second half and went down to defeat 34-24. Lacey Fisher scored 7, Aubrey Borgmeyer had 5, Paige Stutzman and Heidi Lay had 4 each, Cassidy Altide scored 3, and Bevan March scored 1 point. In the boys' game, it was a close one throughout the first half, with Brashear leading 24-21 at halftime. North Shelby managed to take the lead in the third quarter and went on to claim a 49-34 win. Carson Irwin scored 16 points for Brashear, Jack Reeves had 7, Cole Irwin also had 7, Levi Clark had 3, and Dayton White scored 1 point.